he was bringing up a prepayment penalty. So a prepayment penalty would be relevant only to a buyer in that situation. So when he said 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, so it goes 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Year 5 is the year that you took the loan. Okay, so if you have $1 million loan, what's 5% of $1 million? $50,000. Okay, so the penalty is $50,000 if you prepaid that loan during that first year, and then it drops. If you prepaid it during year 2, okay, this is year 2, your penalty is 40. 3 is year 3, your penalty is 30. Year 4 is 20. Year 5 would be 10. This is your penalties, 10K, 20K, 30K, depending on where you are at the loan. In year 6, you have 0 penalty, okay, in this scenario. So this would be 0% in year 6, okay? Every bank has different rules. Some will do 5, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 1. Some may do a 5, 5, 3, 3, 1, 1. There's all different rules, okay? And sometimes this doesn't just apply for if you pay the whole thing off, but it could apply for if you pay half. So if you only paid half of the $1 million, which would be $500,000 off in year 1, okay, instead of a $50,000 penalty, you would have a $25K penalty, okay? And part of the reasons that banks put this in there is because there's so much work done to get your loan closed that they want to ensure that they have it for a while. Because where does the bank make their money? They make their money off the interest. So if you cancel out of the loan and prepaid in year 1, that extra 50 grand kind of softens the blow and it makes it worth their time to do the loan. Okay, there's no way out of these. On occasion, if you're a good customer and you refinance, they'll waive the fee.
Within the same bank?
Within the same bank, yes.
So is this for more commercial or residential as well?
This is just commercial.
Residential is
Yeah.
99% no prepayment penalty.
Yep.
Okay.
There could, if you did like a hard money residential loan, there could be a payment penalty there. Yeah. But I believe it's against the law in the U.S. to have it. I don't know if it's all states, but yeah. So that's what a prepayment loan is. When you're selling a building and you're trying to understand why a seller won't sell, there's 2 reasons. One, it could be the taxes, right? And then 2, could be the prepayment penalty. Okay, because a prepayment penalty, if you have a $5 million loan, that's a lot of money. That's $500,000. It's a lot of money to lose.
$250,000.
Everything is agreed to in advance. Just like when you have a tenant who disagrees with what you want down the road and you're like, well, but you signed the lease. Everything was in the lease. All of a sudden you don't want to do something, but you read it, you signed it. Same for the bank. You read this. This is all in the loan in advance. There's no tricks. It's all here. Whether you choose to accept, it's your problem. And it's hard to get out of. Okay? If you're taking on a new loan, let's say the building, you turned it around because you bought a value add property and you're taking that loan and now the building, instead of being worth $1 million, it's worth $2 million and you're going to pull out another $500,000. Well, then it's in their best interest to give you that extra money because they're going to make more money on it. So they may waive the prepayment loan entirely. So never hurts to ask. You should always ask because if you don't ask, you don't get. But see what happens.
Will sellers ever work into the deal, like add money to the sale price so that you cover their prepayment penalty?
Well, a seller can add.
Everything is negotiable.
Yeah, a seller can add anything to their price, but nobody goes. I've never had a seller say, well, tell your buyer that he has to pay an extra $50,000 toward the prepayment penalty. I've never had that happen, but in theory, what's done behind the scenes, seller usually just comes up with a number, and that's how they justify what they need. You know, we don't usually share that information, but it could be. That's definitely a reason why you wouldn't sell something. So you could use that to tell a buyer, say, hey, you know, yeah, it's worth five million, but he can't sell it for that because of his prepayment penalty. Because you can't exchange a prepayment penalty. With a 1031 exchange, you can't use that penalty. That's gone. That money's taxable. It's there. It's earned. The bank's going to keep it. They're not going to avoid taxes. Like with the 1031, you can avoid your taxes by transferring it into a new property. You can't do that all the time with the prepayment penalty. Sometimes you can if you use the same bank. So if I'm selling my $5 million property and taking two loans on two more properties for $10 million with the same bank, they may waive the penalty. They'll take it and then give it back to you on closing of your second loan or third loan. So again, there's no rules. You can ask for anything. It could happen. Questions? All right. What are we going to do with this phone call?
I'll